The Nationals and Astros getting ready for game one.
And Yuli lines this one off the wall. 2-0 Astros.
That is long gone. Onto the train track. Soto ties it up.
A 2-run double for Soto. Nationals lead. Cole charged with 5 runs. The Washington Nationals take game 1 of the World Series. Go up 1-0.
Welcome in to Minute Maid Park and welcome to Caps Off in advance of Game 2 of the 2019 World Series between the Washington Nationals and our hosts today, the Houston Astros. Phil Murphy here alongside Mark Donaldson. Mark, we have a little bit of a surprise to start the series. The Nationals 1-0 up.
Didn't expect that, but what I think today, after this headline,
it is brilliant.
If anybody can beat this headline, I will be very impressed. Nats ding Cole. Very good. Garrett Cole yesterday losing. Today it's Verlander against Strasburg. So do you take the over or do you take the under for runs with 2 quality pitchers?
I think I'm going to take the under today. We had a conversation yesterday about whether we like the over. I tipped over, barely worked well, primarily because of a guy named Juan Soto, a rising star out of the Dominican Republic. Doesn't turn 21 until Friday. Hello World Series. Hello home run in his World Series debut, the second youngest ever to homer in his first World Series game.
So you could celebrate with a beer, some champagne. Oh no, wait!
Not until Friday.
He's not 21 until Friday, and in this country, you're not even allowed to have anything before you turn 21.
Here are the Nationals post-game about the young star.
This kid's incredible. Have you ever seen an Oppo tank up there? I mean, they all count, I guess, but we all looked at each other and, like, I think all of us had to kind of check our chins because we were always all jaw-dropping. And then, you know, big double, and then he steals the bag later in the game. He's incredible talent and even better person. That's why we, you know, really love having him around. He's in every battle. He's so poised and calm, and you know, can't say enough about him. Obviously, got the big hits today.
It's really good, and I feel like that the ball fly really well. When I hit it, I know it's gone, and it's going far.
That it does, Juan. I think it's still up there on the train tracks. Mentioned he's the second youngest ever to homer in his first World Series game. In any game, he's the 4th youngest ever to homer in the Fall Classic, and these are some names. Mickey Mantle.
Yeah, that rookie
Miguel
card.
Cabrera.
Those rookie cards are worth a fair bit, especially Mantles. But Soto, I just love the way that he's so confident. What were we doing at the age of 20? We were looking for jobs. We still are looking for jobs, granted. But he's just got the composure. You saw what he was like. I know when I hit it, and I know it was going far. He just has the capacity to be able to take something like this, a World Series, the eyes of the world watching, and just deal with it. It's just another day at the office, and my goodness, can he hit a ball?
Well, and you saw a maturity within that at-bat in which he hit the home run.
Yeah.
In his first at-bat, he struck out. Garrett Cole hammered him with fastballs. Second at-bat, he waited on fastball, and on 1-0, opposite field, again, darn near took out our train. Yard.
Your train.
3 of the Washington Nationals' 5 RBI came off the bat of Soto. And then even later in the at-bat, they try to get him with off-speed pitches. He sits slider and puts it over the head in left field off the wall, another extra base hit. Again, this guy doesn't turn 21 until Friday, Mark.
So it's all about today now. It's all about game 2, because as you can see, teams to win game 1, the majority of them have gone on to be victorious. I think this is the key game for the Astros. If they go to Washington 2-0 down, I think they'll struggle to get back into it. At 1-1, I'd make them favorites.
64% of teams to win game 1 go on to win the series. That number shifts heavily in the terms of the favor of the team up 2-0 heading into game 3.
There's always moments throughout the course of a ball game or series. You know, how did we win that game? What happened?
He struck him out swinging. Justin Verlander strikes out the side. What a performance again. We've just come to expect it from that guy on this stage.
We got Verlander.
Steven Strasburg, we knew how great he was as the #1 overall pick back in 2009.
More than a decade later, Strasburg completely dominating the postseason.
Swing and a miss. He struck him out. And Steven Strasburg finishes with a flourish.
You know it's going to be a storm out there, and you know you're going to weather it.
First appearance in a World Series for Steven Strasburg, but Verlander's had a few before him. I know you've got a decent stat about that.
Yeah, this is going to be Justin Verlander's 6th World Series start today.
How many has he won?
He has yet to win a single one. He's 0-4 as a starter. The one no decision his team did win, but this is a guy who's among the most dominant pitchers of this era. His ERA, his earned run average, 5.67 in the World Series. So this guy's going in the Hall of Fame. He's going to Cooperstown. But his legacy, I know he doesn't want to be defined by World Series struggles. He turns 37 in the offseason. This is 5 times a league strikeout leader. This may be the last chance he has to change that conversation about him.
He was okay in the playoffs. The ERA less than 4 but above 3. Against Steven Strasburg, 1.64 earned run average in the playoffs this year. In 4 starts, he has won 3 of them. He's never lost. If that goes to 4-0 today, and if the Nationals go up 2-0 with 3 games to come at home, they're going to be tough to beat.
And that is reflective of his career numbers in the postseason. Strasburg, again, a little bit younger than Verlander, age 31, 4-2 in his playoff career with a 1.10 earned run average. Yes, this is the first time at this stage, his first World Series start, but you have to feel like all the pressure is on the Astros.
I agree, and I think there's an intangible there in that Steven Strasburg might be a fantastic pitcher, and he's got a wonderful ERA in the playoffs this year. We know and we saw and we discussed how Soto was able to deal with this pressure. Strasburg has never stood on that pitcher's mound in a World Series, and we don't know how he's going to react. I think he'll be fine. You just don't know.
For me, 2 things went wrong for Houston in Game 1. One, Garrett Cole fell behind batters with frequency. The Nationals went 5 for 13 at the plate, had 4 of their 5 RBIs when the first pitch was a ball. The other thing that went wrong for Houston, they still are struggling to hit with runners in scoring position. In this postseason, just 185 at the plate with runners on second or third base, 17 for 92.
A lot of talk yesterday as well about maybe Springer could have got a base ahead and maybe could have got in. It's difficult, though. The problem isn't just yesterday. The problem was throughout the playoffs, and they got away with it. Against the Yankees, they left a lot on base, but they did enough. This is the World Series, though, and if you're not clinical like the Nationals were, look at the difference
not even
between
making
those
contact.
two stats.
Their strikeout percentage goes up 10%, and when they are making contact, their slugging percentage, their average total bases per plate appearance, that goes down about 16% with runners in scoring position. It was a problem. We talked about it during the ALCS. It hasn't yet been fixed through 1 game in the World Series. Again, if that doesn't happen today, they may be looking at a 2-0 hole.
Yeah, and you see a lot of the players came out afterwards and said it isn't good enough. We can't have these guys reaching base and then ending up back in the dugout because the inning is over. That's the problem. And if it continues in this one, I don't think that the Astros will be going to Washington 1-1 if they keep leaving guys on base.
One guy who did make contact, he was productive with runners in scoring position. George Springer had the double that was feet away from being his second homer of the game.
Also could have been caught, though.
Could have been caught, but it was nearly a home run.
It was.
We've seen some incredible home run performances in World Series history, and we have a top 3. Starting in 2012, my favorite nickname in baseball, the Kung Fu Panda, Pablo Sandoval. That's Justin Verlander he's going against.
As someone,
ominous sign?
As someone once said about somebody else, when that ball's hit, it stays hit.
Game 1 of 2012, Pablo Sandoval. We go back 1 year prior for number 2 on our list. Game 3 of 2011, right here in Texas, in a 16-7 St. Louis Cardinals win. Fat Albert Pujols, cementing his legacy. Tremendous, earning himself a ring and just hitting that ball into orbit.
These guys know, don't they? When they've hit it, they've got a fair idea if it's good enough, if it's long enough. Now, this is
Number 1.
SD. This ain't Ultra HD, boys and girls. This is 1977. This is Reggie Jackson, and that's what it meant to them. The 3 home runs against the Dodgers in Game 6.
A clinching Game 6 against the Dodgers, 1977. And not just that, that was on 3 consecutive swings. And that earned the nickname, one of the best in baseball history, Mr. October.
You can tell when footage is old, when there's cigarette advertising in the background.
We don't do that anymore?
Not anymore. No, we don't. But wonderful from Reggie Jackson. But this is we saw yesterday a couple of solo home runs as well. There's definitely the opportunity with the roof closed to send a few dingers out there.
Now, Houston is a spot, Mark, near and dear to your heart in terms of your baseball support. And all season we've had fans submit their videos to the tweet spot. My man got a little jealous and decided to submit his own earlier today.
So the last time I was in this spot was July the 6th, 1995. This big thing behind me did not exist. That's where the Houston Texans play. The reason I was here 24 and a half years ago was for this rather older thing to my left. That's the Houston Astrodome. I was here to watch the Houston Astros against the San Diego Padres, my first ever Major League Baseball game. I'm back 24 and a half years later. Things have changed. One thing that's kind of apt though, in that game, I know there was a walk-off home run, but it did finish 5-4 in that first ever Major League Baseball game that I was at. It finished 5-4 as well last night, but not to the Astros. It's hosted Billie Jean King, it's hosted Elvis, it's hosted Muhammad Ali 4 times as well. And today, 24 and a half years after I was last here, that might be newer, but that, the Houston Astrodome, will always have a place in my heart.
Didn't want to wear that shirt on set today, buddy?
Wasn't allowed to. Look at that, $4 to park your car at a sporting event in the United States.
$13 total if you combine the game ticket and the parking. Those are your actual ticket stubs from that event. And also, fun fact, the Astrodome, I taught you today.
You did.
It's the birthplace of AstroTurf. They tried putting natural grass in the indoor venue. It died. So a year later, they rolled out the carpet. AstroTurf was born.
Speaking of rolling out the carpet, we managed to get a little look in. We weren't allowed to video anything this morning, and we're hopeful that the Astrodome can be renovated. There's a lot going on in the councils and various other things as well. But the Battle of the Sexes, Billie Jean King, she was there. Ali with 4 fights. Elvis was fighting as well. What's going to happen today, though? Enough about the Astrodome. What about the Astros?
I think the Astros bounce back. I think they get to the Nationals bullpen. They almost did yesterday. What do you think?
Strasburg wins it, and the Nationals take a 2-0 lead back to Washington. Then the fun begins, boys and girls. Enjoy this one. Game 2 coming up. Bye for now.